Yeah, I'm at work, but I ain't at work.
Okay.
I work at a house.
All right. I'm live now. So
Okay.
what's up, everybody? This is episode 2 of the Nothing Serious podcast. I got my homeboy that I've known for almost 20 years now. Uh, my homeboy Eric. What's up,
What's
man?
happening? What's happening?
And we got uh my other homeboy, Lamar. What's up, man?
What's going on, doctor?
Nothing
Can
much.
you hear me?
Yeah. Yep. Here you fine.
Okay, great,
All right.
great, great, great.
I was gonna wait for the others, but we just gonna go ahead and start, man. So
Yeah, no
I got
problem.
a I got a good show going on today. We're talking about some different subject matters. The first subject is going to be uh, can you consider yourself pro black if you have a white spouse or someone from another race or ethnicity as your significant other?
Man, you must was really listening. You got my car bugged, man. Do you have? I mean, I'm serious. Do you have my car bugged? Because I was just talking about that earlier today. Like
Okay.
literally.
And what brought me to that was I saw a post on Facebook, and also I listened to what's his name, Doctor Umar. What's his name? Last name?
Dr. Umar.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
know
Okay.
exactly what
Okay.
you're talking about.
Eric, you know who that is?
I've heard of him. Yes, I think I know you're talking about.
Okay, and he was just talking about how um, he don't believe in dating white women.
He don't believe in dating white women.
No, he said he can't
Being
be
pro
pro
black.
black. He can't be pro black, and he's dating white women. Oh, welcome Venaris to the stage. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? Can
So
y'all
I'm
hear me
black,
okay?
y'all. I'm black, y'all. And I'm black in the black like black, y'all.
so
Yeah.
so look, so you missed the question, Venaris. The first question was, um, can you consider yourself pro black if you have a white spouse or someone from a different ethnicity as your significant other? I was Lamar was going first.
Okay.
Man. So check this out. So like I said, man, you must have my car booked because I was just literally talking about LeBron was talking about the Grizzlies moving to Nashville. And as you can see, my wife and I just left Nashville, by the way. And we
Oh,
heading
okay.
home. And so we saw like downtown Nashville, and this was Friday. It was like it wasn't even 1 p.m. Was a bunch of white chicks downtown on a bus, and and they were living it up. I mean, they were having a good time, and so I was talking about NBA players. They they either have white girlfriends or white wives, and let me premise this by saying it doesn't make me done whoever you like, whoever you date, or whatever. I have no problem with that. But the thing of the matter is that, man, I actually asked my coworker who was a female sitting right next to me, and I showed her the pictures of the guys that are NBA players that date or have them as spouses. And so, um, I mean, you like whoever you like. I mean, I can't sit up here and say that, oh well, you supposed to date a white, a, 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 you know outside of your race or whatever. I can't tell people what to do because that's their preference. For me, I've never dated a white chick. But all I can say is, man, different strokes for different folks. Whatever they want to do, that's on them. For me, I mean, I've chosen to stay with my sisters. Because that's where it's at. But I mean, if anybody else who's listening and watching, I can't tell you what to do. I can't. But just know, if you do, there will be consequences and repercussions. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, but when I say that. So,
yeah.
It is what it is.
Okay. All right, Eric, what's your thoughts, man?
So, to me, it's like a 2-part question. The pro-black part, it reminds me of that episode with on Martin where Tommy had that white girl and he had that black power dude at the end of he ended up stealing her and talking about white this, white that, and all that stuff. But me personally, the pro-black part, that it seems like that could be a little racist. You know what I'm saying? Being like pro-black. As far as the interracial dating, I really don't have no issue with it. With a buddy that was just talking and saying, I've never really dated. I have dated a white woman, but that was back in my days. Like it was some young stuff. But I honestly, I love white women. I love the way they starting to shape now. Because back then, white women, man, they didn't have no kind of shape or nothing. So it's like,
like
because like, man, God, it's a straight wall. But without married one, it depends on the situation. You have to do your research. Getting with a white woman is a slippery slope. You know what I mean? It's very slippery. And you walking on eggshells. You got to worry about the comments, doing research on her family, are they pro-white? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it comes with the territory, you know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're really doing because you're right. There's a lot of people that's doing the interracial dating now. And especially being a man, it's different for a white man to have a black woman. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's different for bringing the same sex up. It's different for 2 girls to do it, but if 2 dudes do it, it's ugh. But if it's a white man that did it with a black woman, a lot of people don't have issues with it. But when a black man with a white woman, then that's a problem. You know what I mean? It's like, what? Her family, especially if anything happened, they gonna, this N-word, this N-word, this N-word, that, and you know what I mean? I don't know if I can cuss on this. My first time on the podcast. I don't want to get kicked out, you know what I'm saying?
No, you can cuss, yeah.
Okay. Well, this nigga this nigga that. You know what I'm saying? We go nigga. But yeah, it's very slick. Lord forgive me, y'all, but yeah, it's very slippery, man. Do I agree with it? Absolutely. I mean, love doesn't have a color on it. You know what I mean? Right. It definitely do. We come in all shapes and sizes and all forms, and it ain't no different from a skinny dude going with a big girl. It's the same. We're all built different. We're all made different, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I don't know. But the pro-black thing, to me, I think it's, that's kind of it get kind of deep when you say pro-black, but yeah, man.
Okay.
That's my take on it.
Okay. All right. Bernard?
Well, first I want to say, Kalisha just messaged everybody in the chat, said she's on her way. Okay. I'm not sure what you have in this version of StreamYard or whether you can let her in.
I can.
Yeah, send her the link right now. She's trying to get in. She doesn't know how to get in. I will say, I guess why you doing that? As far as the race thing, the way I see it being beautiful and sexy, that's a race all to itself. You know what I'm saying? No matter what race it is. You know what I'm saying? So now with the term, I like to, when we get into debates or anybody, I like to establish definition first. So what is definition? I guess my definition of pro-black, it will be preferably black, you know what I'm saying? Like put that above everybody else. It is from my perspective, this is just my perspective. It's getting a lot harder for black men nowadays to, get with women, because I love my beautiful, deep chocolate women, black women, especially African American women. And I used to get ridiculed in high school, and since I can use the language, I get ridiculed. What you dating her black ass for? She's so black and everything. But now it seems to be the end thing. Now it seems like the dark-skinned females are going towards the white men, thinking, hey, I want to be successful, so I'm gonna go towards the white men. You know what I'm saying? And so it seems harder for black men to get a black woman, even though they want that. And we have to sometimes switch up, if somebody else comes along. And like I said, any race is beautiful, but if they come along and say, hey, I want to get with you or something like that, you know what I'm saying? They switch sides, quote unquote, so to speak. I know that sounds racist too. And I don't ultimately see nothing wrong with it. I have my stereotypes in every single race and ethnicity and no matter sexuality, I got my stereotypes on them. I'm working on it, but I'm just human like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? But do I consider myself, would a person be pro-black if they dated a white person? If their intentions initially were to stick with a black person and they couldn't get that, then everybody needs love. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody's beautiful and sexy, beautiful and sexy. You know what I'm saying? And you can still love your black race. And for those who watching who ready, yes, race exists. It is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Black race does exist. I love being a black man. And you can still love your black race and hold up for it and love the culture of being, especially an African American man. I'm not trying to get into historical tangents, but slave owners took away our African roots, so we had to develop here in America our own systematic way of cultures and things that we do. So I'm proud of my black race that we invented a whole new culture, and it's ours. It's not African, it's African American. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of it. You know what I'm saying? But I guess it just depends on the person to ultimately answer your question. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It as long as you don't say, well, I'm with a white person now, I'm adopt the white culture, then I would say, you're no longer being pro-black. I guess, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Hey,
We got,
what you think, Marcel?
huh?
What you think?
Well, I want to fill Kalisha in real quick. Kalisha, the first
Okay, go
question
ahead.
that I had is, can you be pro-black and have a white spouse or a spouse from a different ethnicity as your significant other?
No.
Okay.
Direct to the point.
Okay.
That's quick. That's a quick answer.
Okay. All right. That's all right. Let me get your take on it.
I mean, I understand you can't look, your heart wants what the heart wants. I understand that. But I personally don't see how you could be pro-black and then turn around and fool with a white person. The grass is not always greener on the other side just because they light skinned. I don't think they won't know your struggles, your day-to-day stuff that goes on. So they won't understand everything that's happening to you personally. So I don't see how that can happen.
Okay. All right. Well, Eric asked me what my take was. So I'm gonna say this. I see everybody's point. I see what everybody is saying. Kalisha, I agree with you to a certain extent. I actually I probably agree with you more than I do everybody else because of the way you deliver your answer. If you the way I look at pro-black is like, you know, it's like what what Eric started off saying, or no, what Lamar started off saying. I'm blackity black and I'm black, y'all. I'm black,
Exactly.
y'all. I'm black, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is black. I support black businesses. I support anything that's going to help black people advance and improve. I
Star Black.
support I support any issues that affect the black community. And also, if you're going to do all that, you kind of have to be with a black person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like it's like I don't know, man. It's really a tough thing. Now I do have like people in my family who have done interracial dating, and they do address the issues in the black community and all that stuff. So I can't say that they aren't pro-black, but I get where if you're on the outside looking in, like how you gonna say that? You know what I'm saying? So you know, it's one of those things, man. It's all about your intentions. To me, you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Like, okay, sometimes you can't help who you fall in love with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It
Right,
is what it
right.
is. So it's just like,
But
but
let me add. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say like Eric was saying earlier, like when I was in high school, I really wasn't into white women. I wasn't. You know, I'm still not all the way, but I do every now and then. I do see a white girl who catches my eye, but she gotta have an exotic look about her. She can't just be a standard white woman. She gotta have a face like a white girl, but a body like a sister. You know what I'm saying?
She ain't white.
No,
That might have been Tiffany.
no, I'm gonna disagree. You remember that episode of the Parkers where the mama came in there? It was like, you know, that white girl with the sister booty.
Stevie.
Yeah, you talking about yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so you know, she had a little thickness to her, and there's a few white women, you know, not a whole lot, but there are
Yeah.
some who got a sister booty. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So
Yes. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Why is everything relatable as like when we refer to a booty? Why is it relatable to a black woman booty? Why can't it just be a nice booty? Why it has to be black?
Well, I mean, because the sisters are naturally have that. You know what I'm saying? It's not no.
Yeah.
They just naturally have that. When you think of African women, most of them have those curves, man. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that. I'm not saying it's impossible for any other race to be shaped like that, but it's very rare. You think about any other race that naturally has shapes like that.
They black.
Asian women don't have it. Most white women don't have it. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
white women been on the come
Mexican-
up though.
Huh?
The white women been on the come up though, man. They got exercises, man. That they and then the fakeness of it too, because then everybody's doing. I'm seeing unrealable fake stuff nowadays. To
Yeah.
where,
Yeah.
it's like it kind of throws it out because black women are doing it now too. The BBLs, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Well,
Yeah.
well, see, that just goes to the fact is that white women look at black women and they try to copy everything that a black woman does, like
Every
from the
culture
ass
does.
to the
Every
to
culture
the
does.
hair.
Every culture does, man.
So at the end of the day, I mean, they want to be like black women so bad. And so I had that point. The other point is, the movie Get Out probably most definitely opened the eyes to a lot of stuff. Because if you remember the movie Get Out, is that, like Alicia said, they cannot relate. Well, let me say some. Let me not put a label, but some they cannot relate to, to the black culture. And so but the disappointing thing is that you have athletes back in the day who were blacker than black, like black, y'all, and then you come to find out later on they got a a white woman. Perfect example, like James Evans on Good Times. James Evans.
Yes.
James Evans, folks. James Evans was probably more blacker than black, like black, y'all. But come to find out, he had a white wife. So look, you can be pro-black and you can say this all day if you want to. But at the end of the day, if you're not blacker than black, because you married a white woman or you got a white girlfriend. So that was my 3 points. And I'm out. I'm done.
I mean, you got a point, man. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is what it is, man. I can't argue with you.
This
on
nigga
that.
played a black father. His hair wasn't combed on the show. He looked old as hell, and he was actually younger than Florida Evans on the show.
Yeah,
But how he pulled a white wife is beyond me.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it is what it is, man. I can't,
It is what it is.
All right. Any final thoughts before we move on to the next subject?
No.
All right. Okay. All right. So the next question is, what are your views on people dating younger? And what I mean is like older. I've heard quite a few women make comments about older men dating younger women. And there are some older women who date younger men. But it's more of a stigma when the older man dates a younger woman because it's looked at as being predatory. So I want to know what y'all take on that is.
Oh, let me go first again. Ooh.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm like R. Kelly. I'm an older man that like younger women.
Don't say you like R. Kelly now.
Right.
No, we ain't doing that, young.
I'm gonna look at you different now.
Hey. She's young.
Yeah.
She's younger than me.
Okay. All right.
You know.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all.
But whatever you say,
Yeah,
can be
I
used
mean-
against
I
you in
mean,
the court of
You know.
Yeah.
You know what? On the last, you funny. On the last podcast, we actually talked about this. We talked about this, how like the high school girls back in the day, and I'm gonna be serious right now. I like the high school girls. They dated the guys that was not in high school. They were in college, and so at that particular time, I was a little offended because I was like, well, why you trying to date this older dude? And hell, we in high school. This dude in college. You don't know what the hell this dude doing, in college. But I mean, there have been instances where I've seen.
You see me in fifth period every day.
Yeah. So but even to the point, like right now, who's that? Robert Kraft. I think Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots, he's dating a much younger chick. I mean, I'm talking about like 30, 40 years younger. And I'm like, when you die, she gonna get your money, right?
Yeah.
She gonna take it all. And so why are you even, if you gonna date, if you're dating, that's fine. But marriage, that's, as my boy said, that's a slippery slope. So
Why is it a slippery slope if you're gonna marry the woman versus dating her?
because 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 you're not putting, unfortunately for him, he's not putting pen to paper. He's just dating her. He's not
He's
he
not taking it
doesn't
serious, basically.
he's not taking this. I mean, come on, man. You know these older cats are not really taking this serious. I mean, because that's why. I mean, I got somebody that a homegirl that said, yeah, I got a sugar daddy. But you know, with that sugar daddy,
Yeah.
he gonna only go so far. You can only do so much, and then after a while, he either gonna cut you out or whatever. But there's not pen to paper when you're talking about that, because you're just doing that for eye candy. You're not serious, because if you were serious, you wouldn't be in a relationship with this chick for 4 or 5 years. You just got her for eye candy.
Yeah. What I want to know is, Marzel, I guess you have to disclaim this. What do you, when you mean older and younger, do you mean guys our age dating 25, 30-year-olds or
Okay, I'll give
18-year-olds?
context.
What do you mean?
Being 20 or more years younger.
Okay.
Nation is
I'll
not
say-
that half your age plus 7. So let me see. I'm not supporting that idea. I'm just saying that just reminds me of that. But 20 years younger. So I'm 47. So somebody 27. Yeah, I've actually, like I said, when I was on one of those dating sites, one of them, they always had the wrong age. I think it was Tinder, and it said she was 32, but I found out she was 25, and we had great conversations. She was intellectual. She was in pre-med. She was an EMT. She had her stuff together. She had an SUV, her own home, and everything. However, I have talked to some women my age, above 40, who still live with their mama, don't have nothing together. Talking about, and I think Lamar was mentioning this before about sugar daddies. All these women talking about, I need a man to make $100K and he got to pay my bills and all that stuff like that. And I'm like, come on now. I know it's a whole nother subject, but you know what I'm saying? It just depends. A lot of people say, well, you're dating a younger girl because you're being predatory. No, it totally depends on the intellect. Like I said, that woman had her stuff together, and the 40-year-olds I've talked to, a lot of them don't have nothing together and they still struggling. So I mean, it just depends, as long as they're grown. I have a problem with the whole 18 of like, what can she do for you? You haven't been to college, career. But and a lot of celebrities, like what's her name? Leonardo DiCaprio, he's dating a little 19-year-old. I don't know if she's 19, but I don't know. That's a little too young for me. But I guess as long as you have yourself fully established, and you don't have to be fully compatible. People like, well, I need somebody intellectually on my level, because there's a lot of 40-year-olds that you can hook me up with who are very nice but don't have nothing up here. If you sound sort of a picnic. So I don't know. That's just my basic take on it.
Okay, Eric.
Okay, I'm writing my okay, so this is a little slippery too, because you have to, the way I look at it, it has to make sense. It has to make sense. You can't be no 50, 60-year-old and you got an 18-year-old. You old enough to be a granddaddy. At this point, you looking at it as eye candy. So it has to be like a respectable maturity level of age gap. Now if you're 70 with a 50-year-old, I mean, it'd be different because the maturity level is up there. But some men like their women younger because they can tell them what to do, or even an older woman can, I can train this person or whatever. But and on the younger person standpoint, it can be a hustle to them. I just hit a lick. When he died, I'm gonna have that mug. I done got rich. So yeah, I think it's a maturity level thing to it. Like I said before on the last topic, love, doesn't really have a shape or size or age, you know, but it has to make sense. You know, you can't be out here R. Kelly, you know. You know, it has to make sense, you know. But yeah, it's just like a kid going into a rated R movie, you know. You know, darn well you ain't supposed to be seeing this movie. But that's the way it's going right now, you know. For the men, I would say older men, you know, you might have dated someone your age before, and then the maturity level just not there, or and somebody younger might be suited for you. You know, you don't want to two same age people, 2 50-year-olds that's going down. That ain't the type of life that you would want. You know what I'm saying? Sit at the house all day, feed each other medication, watching Good Times. You know that could get boring versus somebody that want to get on a roller coaster and got your leg, because now you've been laying down so long your leg don't even work right. But somebody that'll get you up out the house and you like, okay, I don't even need this cane no more. You know, it's just that thrill. You know, you don't want to die. You don't want to die angry and all that stuff. So yeah, I just think that it depends on what you know what you're doing. You know, you know exactly what you're doing there, and then it goes to the family too. Like, man, you got kids that person age, they gonna be looking at you like, really, daddy, like, or really, mama, you got this dude younger than me, or this girl younger than me. Like, why? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like me and this dude was in second period together.
Right. Look, we was in second grade together.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it's kind of, you know, would I do it? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't never do nothing like that. I would stay in what they call it, the price range.
Okay, all right, Eric. I'm gonna let Kalisha chime in and give me her thoughts.
Well, I will say this. I dated, like you said, older guys when I was in high school. Because unfortunately, guys in my age range were still immature. They didn't have cars. They couldn't take you on dates. So it was more of a convenience thing. Necessary, you know, so that's why I did it anyway. Yes, I liked them, but I knew there was nothing going down between us, and I was hoping that they would know it too, because I didn't want them to get in trouble. Now I'm the baby. I'm dating someone older. It's not 20 years, but it's almost 10.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's a lot for me. Because he kills me. He says it all the time. I'm a senior citizen. I was like, you are not a senior citizen yet, sir. I mean, great. I'm glad we can get some discounts, but no.
Well, I say my dating preference, I won't go under 30. You know what I'm saying? Right. Typically, like I like women that's like no more than 15 years younger. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm 45. I'm not going past 30. When you get in that 20-year range, it's kind of like I don't have the patience for a lot of that BS, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't like loud noises anymore. It's just like I don't have the patience, and my blood pressure can't take it. So I like my women to be a little bit, you know, older.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying I won't date an older woman, because I will. The oldest I'll go is like 50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And, you know, I guess another question to ask on top of this, a lot of people have said that it's more natural for a man to date a younger woman and for a woman to date an older man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've heard that a million times, you know. And so.
Yeah. I mean, it like Eric says, it's all about your preferences. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it all comes down to is what your preferences are. I personally will, I mean, I just can't. My oldest is 22, about to be 23. I couldn't date anybody that was close to her age at all.
Mhm.
No, not at all. Like, yeah, I just couldn't do that.
My thing is, what do you have in common with someone that's 20 years younger than you at this point? And because, like, I'm
Well,
not in, I'm 50, so I'm like,
I think
yeah.
Bernard is gonna give you an answer.
It's the
What,
turn
what,
back the hands of time. It's
I
the
mean,
it's the
what,
flashbacks.
I mean,
It's the
sex is.
flashback.
I mean, I understand the sex may be great and all, but that's about the only thing really to me. At least that's what I've come to see. It boils down to it being physical. It's
Yeah,
not a
well,
lot. It's not a lot that I can do with a 20, 30-year-old at this point.
well,
I did that in my 30s, and it was well, into my 30s, 40s, I'm sorry. And he was still in his 30s. And it was awkward at times. The things that I would do and he want to do, I'm like, it just didn't match.
yeah.
I
Well, I
think
mean, if
I
you
think
think about it, what does any man really have in common with any woman? They always, even like with people who are the same age, you know what I'm saying? Like the man
Right.
want to sit around and watch the game and drink beer, and then the woman wants to go to this pottery class and do this. And you're like, I don't want to do this, but I do this because my wife wants to do it. Or she might want to go on a vacation and the man wants to stay home. You know what I'm saying? Or a man wants to watch action and adventure films and the woman wants to watch rom-coms. I know that isn't a definitive, but I'm just saying, I've heard that before. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times when it comes to the sexes, you're gonna have indifferences. I'm not supporting. I know it seems like I'm supporting the idea, but I'm just trying to be the devil's advocate to look at both sides of the mountain here. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
yeah,
Like,
Mhm.
35, 30 is probably mine. A little bit younger, but it just depends on the mentality. But to say that that's an absolute no because what do they have in common? I've heard that before, and if they're the same age of, like my ex-wife was the same age as my baby sister, you know what I'm saying? And she was, like what, about 10 years, 12 years younger than me. When she was born
Mhm.
in 82. So no, she was about 4 or 5 years younger than me, So, it's always somebody the same age as somebody, you know what I'm saying? So it just depends for me. I don't want to, as far as the thing of somebody who dating younger is creepy and they have malice intentions. I guess that's my point I'm trying to bring across. It's not malice, it's not negative if they're dating somebody younger. There's stereotypes about dating older people just for their money,
hmm
So just
You're right.
just just trying to give a balanced opinion here, and nothing against what you just said, Kalisha. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Just
I wholeheartedly agree. It's got to be something there. But at the same time, the guy I'm dating now, I think we talked about it offline. Um, we actually met before I got to college, and I met him on the yard one day, and we were cool. But he was he was a grown man compared to me, just turning 18 at the time.
hmm
That, that was creepy to me, and I mean, because he was super, in high school, I was what, 17, 18, and dating somebody that was like 19, 20, 21 maybe. That
mhm.
wasn't too much of a stretch. But when you get to 25, 26, 27, there is nothing that we had in common at that particular moment in time. So I was like, that's creepy. You're a creepy old man in my mind. I was like, what do you look? Because I was like, first off, I know I don't look grown. At that point, I wasn't even 5 foot tall. Okay. I didn't weigh 100 pounds. I looked like a little kid. And so I thought that was kind of weird. But now, 30 years later, okay, I can see it. I think it works. I think we can actually do something together now and build from here. But that it's not a large age gap. And I could not imagine, like my grandparents, they had a 20-year age gap.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me, I didn't know until I got grown. But I thought that was, once I figured it out, I was like, whoa, she was a kid almost.
Yeah.
As a kid. And you know what? That's like so true, because I noticed a lot of older people were marrying they daughters off at a real
16.
young age.
16 years
Yeah,
old.
like 15, 13. Like, man, how are y'all 25 years apart? Really?
Right. But then you got to, but I had to also think back at that time, the life expectancy wasn't as long as it is now, you know?
Mhm.
And so they were like my grandparents, they still had farms and stuff. So they were still trying to get people out to get the kids out there to help them do the farming and stuff.
And generally, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
No, and generally, when the younger men, I mean the older men look at younger women, it's like a whole bunch of things. Well, not a whole bunch of things, a few things that they look at. They look at, is she childbearing age?
Mm-hmm.
You know, the chances of her giving off healthy offspring is better because she's younger. You understand what I'm saying? Then on top of that, it's just that they find those women more attractive because they're young. Most of them are in good shape, you know, stuff like that. So I mean, it's just different. It's just different reasons. Like, you know, it's not necessarily because it's predatory. I think I think when women say that it's predatory, I think that they're saying it because they're not an option. You know what I'm saying? That's just my personal view. It's like, oh, that's just like when women say, oh, I want a man who makes 100K. And the guy be like, well, I don't make 100K. Why he got to make 100K? He's getting offended because he don't check that box. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things.
I'll say this too, though. You know, I said it on another podcast too, that what was the point I was about to make? For, you know, some men who date younger women, you know, they see the older women who are, you know, 35, 40, they've went through a lot, and you know, every man that came before them, they have a piece of that man. Oh, the reason why he's doing this is because of this, and this is because of my experience with these other men. But the 25-year-olds, they're young, they're energetic, they're happy, you know, they're full of life. They haven't had many experiences, many heartbreaks. So those heartbreaks aren't embedded in as much as, let's just say, a woman who's 40 and over. So they get with that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when y'all was talking about historically, well, the way you had mentioned this too, a woman who, you know, back in those days, what was the apex of a woman's life? Is to be a good housewife, to cook, to clean. You learn all of that by 14, 16. When the apex of a man is when he leaves his father and starts his own business, which is around 25, 30. That's why that existed back in those days. You know what I'm saying? We don't live in that same format, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So that's the 2 points I would just, and I think that other podcast me and you was listening to, Mosaic was mentioning that. You know, if there is some mental thing about it, you know, they look at the younger women as, you know, you can make me more energetic. I'm already a 40-year-old or 50-year-old man, and I'm trying to get more energetic. But, you know, you dating a 25-year-old, that'll increase my energy rate. You know what I'm saying? And so that, I guess that's another point I just wanted to bring across, you know?
And for the moral of this topic is, forgive me for saying this, but Grandma Coochie wore out. That thing is over. You know, she had 15 kids, and you know, it don't feel the same no more. You know,
To dispute that, y'all don't feel the same neither.
It always feel the same to me. I never understood that. It's always been what they say. Steve Harvey said this. He said, "Coochie is like pizza. It's good even when it's cold." You know. So that's
Well,
I know, man. I can't speak for the other. I can't speak for the other fellas in the chat, but I ain't never felt no coochie. I'm sorry.
Hey, did y'all see my comment about Steve McNair and what happened with him.
Oh,
Yeah,
with
I seen it.
Oh yeah.
yeah, when
Yeah,
his girl, the girl that he was cheating with, killed him.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't see that.
Yep.
Mm.
yeah. So that's the type of stuff we talking about. Like it you gotta know what you know. And I'm gonna mute myself because I'm in the store and I just want to
Uh-huh.
maintain on my own job.
Okay.
Well,
But yeah, that's
one-
that's deep right there, man.
that brings back to the other point, another stereotype of why they say that black men shouldn't date white women because they
Mhm.
say stereotypically white women will say, "Hey, let's go on a cruise," and y'all go out on the balcony at night and she'll throw you over or put something in
Yeah.
your drink, when she don't like you. Stereotypically, now I'm not saying
Uh-huh.
that.
Hmm.
I'm just saying,
Well, since you said that, from now I'm like, no, I'll make my own damn drink.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So, next topic. Oh man, yeah, it's funny, man. That is hilarious. Okay, so I'm glad we got Kalisha here. She's gonna start this one off, and then you guys can chime in and tell me what your perspective is or whatever. Traditionally, most women go for the bad boy, not the good guy. Why is that?
That's a good question.
hmm.
That's a very good question because I personally didn't go for the bad guys.
Mhm.
College,
Well,
I actually
well,
like the nerdy guys.
okay, before we go any further, I'm gonna give you
Mhm.
context. I don't know if you guys, Vanas has sent a video about the movie The Titanic. Have all of you guys seen the movie Titanic?
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric, you seen it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So basically, the video that Vanara sent to the group was basically saying the lady in the movie, she kind of shitted on the guy who she was there with, her fiance or husband or whatever he was, and she messed around with a guy who didn't have nothing. He was just a guy who was very less fortunate and all this stuff, and she messed up her marriage to cheat with the guy that didn't have nothing, and both her husband and the guy she cheated with died in the Titanic. But as time went on, she was more attached to the guy, her side dude, than she was her husband.
Hmm.
And that was the context of the. Am I explaining it right, Venaris?
Yep, pretty much. Yep. Hmm.
Okay. So why is that? Why do you think that women will basically not talk to the or treat the bad guy wrong? I mean the good guy wrong to go for that bad guy.
Okay. In that context, I would have to say that he brings something out of her that's exciting and new. Um, so it's not necessarily that he's a bad guy, but it's something that she's never experienced or like to experience again. That her husband didn't do. He's the safe one. He's the one that she knows that she can depend on, whether it's financially or emotionally. But the bad guy was one that keeps her going, keeps her motivated to get out and do things that she wouldn't normally be able to do with him, with the husband. That's
Okay.
the only thing I can think of because I don't like the bad guys. Me personally, I mean they're fun, yes, but for something serious, no.
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right. Venaris.
Um, Like I said, I'm not. I know I'm gonna give my opinion. I know women who hear this will say I'm mansplaining and all that, but it's just my opinion. You know, it might be an evolutionary thing. You know what I'm saying? Like in the animal world, they want the best hunter, they want the best gatherer, and that person has to be the most aggressive person. And I guess it intrigues a woman, and I will say, not just Titanic. If you look at a lot of these rom-com, I watch rom-coms. I love rom-coms. I ain't gonna lie. Judge me however you want to. But a lot of these rom-coms, if you look at them, it's all about the woman who has a decent husband or a boyfriend, and there's some other dude who's worthless, and then she goes for him. You know, the vagabond or the worthless guy, and some women have told me, I've asked this question before. It was like, well, we try to change the thug into a nice person. I don't believe that 0%. I believe it's more like Kalisha was kind of saying, it intrigues them because it's different. Some believe that the thugs have the larger members and can thrust more aggressively, to get the words, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them is more money because they're not investing in anything. They're selling drugs. They got these fancy clothes on and stuff like that. They're not making investments. They got on the Jordans and the gold chains and all this, and they perceive themselves as having a lot of money, but actually they don't have any money. You know what I'm saying? So I would say all of that. But then again, to bring back to my other point, it's always a circle. The nerd comes up to the woman and says, "Hey, can I get with you at a younger age?" And they was like, "No, I want these thugs with the Jordans." These thugs get them pregnant, have children by them, and leave them alone. Don't have nothing to do with them, and they'll go intrigued by that, and they'll give 10 thugs by the time they're 35 or whatever. And then they'll be like, "I'm sick of this." And then they'll get with the nice nerdy guy, and the nice nerdy guy is like, does this, and they'll be like, "No, the reason why you doing this is because of this and this. I've went through this before." No, you've went through it with the thugs. Okay, you've never had a real gentleman, and they think that's a manipulation tactic. You know what I'm saying? Because they've never experienced a real good guy. You know what I'm saying? So it seems to be a vicious cycle of this. Intrigued by thugs at a younger age, and then get mentally devastated and have PTSD from all these thugs, and you can't have a decent and want the good guy to take care of 15 kids that you have by these 10 different thugs. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing.
Okay, all right. Eric, I'm gonna get you last, Lamar.
I mean, I in my perspective, I kind of agree with what everybody's saying so far. Going back to the content, I say that I wouldn't necessarily say Buddy was a bad guy. He just didn't have nothing. I would say that in that content, the roles was reversed. The guy with the money was the bad guy, and the guy that had nothing was a good guy. Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know. I just think it's to sum it up, I think it's just an experiment. With somebody, that's probably been a good girl all their life, know what the good guys, how they roll, how their manners, they might be a little corny to them or whatever, versus the bad guy, could be labeled as funny, more outgoing and not lame, stuff like that. But I just, it's, I really don't know why, people just like what they like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
That, I mean, was you done, Eric?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Okay, Lamar.
Hold on. So, this has been through the course of time. I mean, it goes back to even through biblical days that this has been going on. I think that they look at the bad guy, as is already been expressed. The bad guy is the one that has the power. He has this and that and the third, and so that's what attracts some women when it comes to that. that they want to experience something that they've never experienced before. We've even seen it through music artists. You know, we probably would never thought Janet Jackson wanted to get with Bobby Brown, but she did. Um, you know, we never probably thought that Rihanna back in the day wanted to get with Chris Brown, and she did. And so this is something that's just been going on like forever. This ain't just got started. Like I said, they just look at people, guys who have power, and you know, women like to get with guys that have power, that have some type of swag, you know, about them. So, like I said, in a nutshell, I basically agree with what everyone has said before me, but this been just going on through the course of time.
Okay. All right. What I will say is this: I look at it as equivalent, like, okay, good guy, bad guy, and then the good girl and the girls that are the bad girls. You know what I'm saying? Like the girls that basically do things that the good girls wouldn't do. You know what I'm saying? That it brings excitement to it and all that stuff. So I can understand what Kalisha was saying, that not necessarily it's an attraction, it's all about intriguing. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, what makes him so bad, or what makes her so bad, and you know, and I want to see what everybody's talking about. You know, it's one of those things. So I can kind of see both sides and understand why someone would want to date someone who's considered a bad guy, bad girl, so on and so forth, because of the excitement that comes with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see that. It makes sense.
Yeah.
So I on the research scale, how has that worked out so far for women?
Mm.
Good question.
I would say it depends on what you were looking for.
Yeah,
It depends on what you.
because I mean, some of them have gotten with bad guys and they didn't and they were good, and they were actually, you know, actually able to rub off on them and lead them to God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not all bad guys always been bad guys. You know what I mean? But then you got some that get impregnated. Now you moving on to the next one. Now you got 4 different baby daddies, and bad guys got like 8 different baby mamas. You know? But I think it is like, you know, it could help. It honestly can help. You know, especially good women and bad men, you know, because it can help them change their life if they really wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Because I've heard stories of that actually happen. Like, yeah, I was running the streets, man. If it wasn't for my good wife or my good girl at the time, now she my wife. Now I done changed my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I gotta say, it's not just a black men, black women. You know, you've had this trope even in like white comedies where you have the white woman who wants the guy on the motorcycle with the leather jacket who's in the gang, you know, and they're both white. And you know, you always have these you know, it's always this stereotype when you're younger, I guess. So I don't know, but like you said, you know, what's the end game and all that, you know. And no permanent stuff. You don't get no STDs or no babies. You know,
man.
Yeah. And the thing is, it also goes with the guys who cheat with the bad girl and think that it's more exciting, and they leave the woman who's good to them for a woman who is fun, and that never works out. It always ends up in tragedy some type of way. Might not be nobody losing their life, but you end up losing everything. You know what I'm saying? And it's not worth it at the end of the day. You know, you risk it all for a few minutes of pleasure, you know?
Right.
It's not, it doesn't make sense. So
yep. That's another good discussion you can have. Is the grass green on the other side? You know.
It ain't. I'm telling y'all, it's not. Don't fall for the trap.
You know what you just said, that few minutes of pleasure, you know what it brought me up, man? I've been on this health journey, man. And I was at this grocery store today and I was looking at some fried chicken. And I'm like, should I sit here and eat this chicken for a few minutes of pleasure?
Was it good?
Man,
You stupid.
they walked out the store. My wife was like, "You in there eat chicken, ain't you?" Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, he got the chicken grease all in his mouth. He's like, ain't nobody eat no chicken.
Look, hey, the crumbs are supposed to fall off your shirt if you're standing up. They still stuck.
Oh man, that reminded me of that other episode of Martin. You remember where the girl's supposed to be some health guru, and Martin is like, "We got a picture of you at the rib shack," and she'll be.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. That few minutes of pleasure, boy.
Yeah, that it gets you every time, man. Every time, man. You're doing something you shouldn't be doing, and then you're like, oh, that was so great. Then you start thinking and pondering about what you did, and you like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't mean to switch gears, you know, and turn into serious. But you know, when the comedian said, when a woman says I do, that means I don't do that no more. You know,
Yeah.
so the man gotta find something else out there, you know. But you know, women, and I know I'm trying to sound like I'm making excuses, but women do that too when they cheat on their husband, and they be like, well, it's only because, and the other women will say that you didn't love him or her enough, and you didn't spend time enough with her, and they make all these excuses for when the woman cheats on the man, like it's the man's fault. But when a man cheats, they makes it look like, you know, he's the worst thing ever. But like I said, you know, usually when it comes to marriage, you know, sex is cut down a tremendous amount, and the woman still expects the man to do everything around the house, make all the money, but he asks for sex, and she's like, I'm too tired, and you know, you said this yesterday, and I was still mad at you, so I'm denying you. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's a whole nother discussion. Just want to bring that up. You know?
Yeah.
Well, you know that it's a known fact that once you do get married, that the sex does go down quite considerably. I'm telling you, when I was with my ex-wife, when we first started dating, man, every time we was around each other, we was getting it in. It was like back to back to back to back. Once we got married, it just like I would get it once a month. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was lucky, you know. And
Right.
then
That's horrible.
yeah. I mean, and then you know, like it's kind of like one of those things. Like I find this, the older I get, I find this to be true. The same things you did to get your spouse is the same
Yes.
things you do to keep them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was just about to say that.
It's simple, but it's the truth. It's not. I feel like me and Vanessa had this discussion. I don't know if his perspective or his perspective on marriage is the same, but I said this: marriage is a beautiful thing with the right person.
Yes.
It's a beautiful thing with the right person. It's not necessarily marriage that's the problem. It's the person you decide to marry that's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I'm open to getting married again. I'm
Right.
open
But
to it.
it's also maintenance and work. You know,
Yes.
you don't get that way. You don't get that way success by just waking up you got to work at that thing. Like you said,
yeah.
man, what you got to do, you got to keep, you know, whatever it took to keep that. And if y'all was humping like jackrabbits in the beginning, you should have been still humping like, if you wasn't, you shouldn't have been humping like jackrabbits. Right? But once a month, that's like I gotta pay I gotta go pay my bill real quick.
Yeah,
You know?
basically.
Right. And I
Yeah,
don't
right.
understand that either when it comes to that. You know, you're married, you do an 8-hour shift, and the woman comes home, hey, you need to repave the driveway, you need to paint this, you need to fix this for me, you need to buy this for me, so get extra hours at work. And you have to do, on top of an 8-hour shift, you have to do 4 more hours of work and do all this extra stuff. So, and you ask the woman, okay, well, can you give me at least 5 minutes of sex? You know what I'm saying? And she's like, I don't feel the right time to do this. The time ain't time. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It ain't timing. It's not. It ain't. You right, bro. It is not timing. Man,
The
Look,
math is not mathing.
look, look, like he right, man. All I need is 5. Look, all I need is 5. I'm already tired, you know. Man.
You right. Just let me stick the head in. And she used to be like, if you stick the head in, all of it's gonna go in. I'm like, yeah, but just let me try.
Not just try, huh?
And what D.L. Hughley say, his wife was like, you know, I can't do it because I got to go to the gynecologist. He was like, well, do you have to go to the dentist? You know?
I got some mouthwash for you.
Hey, it was like, hey, it was a comedian.
Y'all
Was like,
stupid.
she's like, I can't do it. I'm on my period. He's like, your mouth ain't bleeding, is it?
I swear. Deja vu.
And to be honest with you, I don't think if it was bleeding, he would care. He's still,
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Let's just be honest about that. Hey, put the towel down. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
what am I going to do? Y'all just giggling.
Oh, yeah, I kind of figured it's all men on here and one lady.
yeah.
Yes, all right.
We all can relate. We've all had these conversations.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, especially that towel, man. It does feel weird though.
Well, I remember when me and my ex, we first had we had a child before we got married, and then we had my son like a few months after. Well, it was like 8 months after she had we got married or whatever. and was crazy, like she had just came home from the hospital and she laid in the bed and I was like, man, is it 6 weeks yet? She's like, if you don't get away from me.
Right.
It's like,
Exactly.
no, it's not no 6 weeks.
I know what you're talking about. Yep.
That's 6 weeks is a long time, man.
It so
It
is.
is.
Oh my God.
You say my best friend and her older brother are 9 months apart.
I can believe it. It's a long time, man. Let me ask y'all this. All y'all have babies. have y'all waited the whole 6 weeks?
It
Dang.
don't take 6 weeks.
Yes, it does.
So that means no.
I think it's more of a estimated time arrival, ETA. It don't take those 6 weeks.
I wait
I'm
till
sorry.
she said, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that I serve a God that can heal.
Now, you're doing too much.
Oh man.
Luckily, when I was having kids, you know, my wife was still into me. I hate to say it like that, but you know, so I waited until she gave me consent because you know I'm ready 24/7. So I was like, hey, no, I didn't really have to ask her, you know what I'm saying? So you know, we'd experiment around, and she'd be like, well, we can try it, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, yes, ma'am, you know. So, so I didn't try to force it because I would have felt bad if something had have torn or something ahead of time. So I was like, I ain't even gonna try, you know. So like,
Yeah, you can't just ram it in there, man. You gotta take some time and ease it in there and then get your strokes in. You can't just He's like,
waiting for her
I don't want to tear nothing.
permission.
Ain't there trying to re-sew it. Hold on, we gotta stay still. Hold on, you gotta stay still. It reminds you when you get in trouble back in the day, you get in trouble, man, you try to fix it.
Oh man.
Alicia didn't know what she
But
was
yeah,
doing.
this was definitely a great, man. This is definitely great. I'll definitely so you're on every Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do every Saturday. Every Saturday.
Okay. Yeah, this was
Between 11 and
awesome,
12.
man.
Yeah.
This is definitely good.
Yeah, man. I make sure I put people in that's gonna make it entertaining. You know what I'm saying? We don't want nobody
Yeah.
gonna be boring. I only called a certain amount of people to be
Yeah.
on.
Mhm.
Look, I'm apologize right now. You know, I got sense, but when I get with Marcel, I don't know what happens to it.
No, what
Man,
happened to me too?
man, let me tell you. Okay, so Benares is like probably my oldest friend, right?
Yeah.
We met in high school, and this is like, Eric is probably like my third oldest friend. Okay, no, fourth oldest friend. But Eric been real cool for a long time. And when I was living in Michigan, he was living in Michigan, we would always have barbecues, man, and we would get together and get on the grill and just be laughing and having a good time, man. That dude is probably one of the funniest people that I know. You know what I'm saying? We always used to be just feeding off of each other. It would be funny, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember there's some stories, like I said, Marcel, that we've been through, situations we've been through.
Yes.
Ask me ahead of time before you do it live publicly. Someone might be intimidating.
I know, right? But I hope ain't said that gonna get me in trouble, man.
No.
Man. But I gotta head out of here. But I definitely appreciate you, man. And let me know when you come on again. I'll definitely be, and I'll be in town in May 20th, so we can definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a good one. I really appreciate your time. Like, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all made this fun to me.
Okay, man.
Take care.
Yes,
Next
sir.
time.
God bless. God bless everyone.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
too, man.
All right.
Hey, you remember you were saying something about marriage is a beautiful thing, can be? I
Yeah.
was just thinking about this, that I don't know who was talking about it, like you might need a wife who can cuss people out every now and then. So it's like you're at a restaurant, you waited too long in line. The man is usually the sophisticated one. Excuse me, do you has our table, or can you give us another table? But the wife will come out there and say, hey, start cussing. Look here, you know what I'm saying? You're going to do something right now, so we need that balance, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? Man and woman, nothing against the LGBT, but I'm just saying, I'm a heterosexual male. That's all I know is heterosexual relationships. So that's what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? But, that's a great balance, find you a woman who can balance you out, who can hold up for you when you're being nice and cordial, and she has to balance it out to be a little bit more aggressive, or see the perspectives of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's how.
I was gonna say what you're saying is true. The most successful relationships are the ones where both people are balance each other out. You have one person who's extreme, that the person that's more mellow. You know what I'm saying? They kind of balance each other out. You know what I'm saying? And those usually are the relationships that work out the best. Because y'all both can't be on 20 all the time, because somebody got to learn how to even it out. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a person who always is angry all the time, and both partners angry all the time, you have to have somebody who's a little bit more level-headed to bring the other person down. You understand?
Right.
So that's important. So do you still feel the same way? Are you against being married again, or would you do it again?
I've kind of recently, for the most part, with every woman I've dated, I've told them, hey, don't get your hopes up. I'm not getting married again. You know what I'm saying? I told them straight out like this. I met a woman recently, who I've changed my mind and considered it because, she's the right type of woman. I don't think it'll, that's another long story. But, I guess the point is, like you were saying, it just has to be that one. And, because marriage, it's not like, I'm a young 20-year-old, stars in my eyes, nothing but, lust in my face. I've actually been married twice, so I know what works, what doesn't work. I know the consequences of getting married, like what we just mentioned earlier, what I'm saying? So there's a lot to marriage, and that's why I'm very timid. So when women would start to say, hey, what do you think about getting married? At first I'm like, well, I guess I didn't get to know them, especially the ones I just need a man to make $100K and all that. So they weren't worthy of anything. But I've met somebody that's actually worthy of that. I'm not saying any names or anything. But it only takes one to change your perspective. You know what I'm saying? But even if it doesn't work out, I would still probably be 90% again. Just to be honest, if I had to continue dating somebody else, I would still be 90% against marriage because of what I know about marriage, unless you can prove to me through months and months that you are actually that one. You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole other discussion of the points I have against marriage, you know what I'm saying? But it just you have to be that one, and you have to prove that you're that one,
Yeah. It's been a proven fact that when you talk about marriage, when the marriage ends, the man usually gets the worst of it. You know what I'm saying? In most cases. Like they say that it's not beneficial for men to get married at all. So, that's what they say. Me personally, I just, like I said, it comes back down to who you marry. Because they said most of the time when divorce occurs, it's the woman who initiates it. So,
yeah, they say whoever files divorce first is the one who's usually going to get all the benefits and stuff like that, and even in cases, well, I'm not going to get off into that.
Yeah. We don't, because I don't have to end soon. My battery is going low, so
okay.
So yeah, we'll say that for next time.
Right.
Yeah, that's a.
Hey, y'all. Look, I'm sorry I couldn't be as talkative, but man, I heard everybody and everything. This was a most definitely great podcast. Marzel, you put an excellent show together. I wanna point that out to you.
Thanks, man.
These topics that we're talking about, these topics most definitely need to be discussed, but it's just good to be able to discuss them on a platform like this. I mean, because it's we're not disrespecting anybody.
No.
We're just telling it like it is. We're just keeping it a book. And once again, like I said, man, you put together an excellent show. Like I said, I wanted to most definitely be on here because you support my show. So if I could just, I mean, it don't matter if I just listen. I just wanted to be a part of this. So, with that being said, I'm gonna get the floor back to you, man.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you for all your words, man. And I really work diligently to try to make this podcast, successful and appealing to everyone. You know what I'm saying? So I talk about different subject matters because that's what people really want to talk about, and what they the questions that are asked are really good questions. So
Mhm.
yeah.
hmm And if you ever need material, just get on that Kendra G app and listen to them conversations. You have all the material you need.
Man, some of those people on there, I just be like, man, the audacity of them, man.
Right.
It was, man. It was, and the thing is, I'm not saying anything about women who are, overweight or anything. To each his own. Everybody has a preference, okay? And so this lady got on there. She had 6 kids, and she was a heavy set lady, okay? And she was
Mhm.
talking about she wanted a man who was 6 foot.
Yeah.
He has to make $200,000 a year,
Yikes.
and he has to be in shape. Okay, so you are setting these expectations, but you don't reach them yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, she always asks the right question. She'd be like, "Why you got 6 kids? How many baby daddies? 3. Why aren't you with the last one?" You know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
And they'd be like, "Well, it just didn't work out," or something like that. And that's what I often wonder. How do you know? You want me to take care of all these kids, and that's a lot. I'm not saying don't ever be a stepdaddy, because that's one of the greatest things. It's a great responsibility to me. It's proud when you can take care of something and you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Even for me, but that's a lot for me. Take care of somebody else. You might get those "you ain't my daddy" speeches. You know,
Hmm.
that's a lot. And so I don't know what these women tell you. Got to take care of me, and let's just be real, like what you were saying. It's not a lot of times, being seriously obesely obese is not
Hmm.
traditionally attractive for a lot of men. There's a lot of men who find that very intriguing, and I think
Yeah.
this can be in any shape. I'm just disclaiming, but I mean, I'm just kind of agreeing with you in a way. You just have to be realistic. And if you got a man who makes 250K, he can get those younger women, you know what I'm saying, with the shape and stuff like that,
And with no kids.
with no kids. Yeah.
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 So it just it's just all about all about perception, man. At the end of the day, but I'm gonna say that I'm gonna have to end the podcast. But I enjoyed each and everybody who joined. My boy Eric from earlier, and Lamar, Venaris, and Kalisha. Before we go, do you guys have anything that you guys want to say? Like, as far as what you got going on, and so people can be looking out for that. You can
Um,
go first, Venaris.
oh, just real quick. Right up here, Crane Style Forever, KraneStyle Forever. Look it up on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. The Legend of Gomoroy that I've been talking about. I finished the script. The first episode is about 90% done. So it's going to be an animated series. Be looking out for that. It's a great little story. After that, I'll be doing Planet Furball and Heretic Kitten. I got so many things that I'm finna start producing. So look me up. Just Google KraneStyle Forever. YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. Got a lot of stuff coming up.
All right.
Okay, okay.
Awesome.
Kalisha.
Nothing here.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate all you guys joining in, and I will be on next Saturday, same time, same place.
All
so
right.
um, I have something good for you guys next week too. I hope all of you guys are available, man, so y'all can join. Okay. All right. Well, this
All
is
right.
concludes episode 2 on StreamYard YouTube. Guys, check it out.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.
All right.